Once upon a time in a faraway land, there lived a very kind and generous king. He was known throughout the land as the wisest of all men, and he could even understand the language of birds, beasts, and insects. This just and noble king was none other than Prophet Solomon, peace be upon him. One day, Prophet Solomon decided to take a stroll through the markets of his magnificent city. Everything was neat and orderly. People from all around the world came to do business here because it was safe and sound, and Solomon's justice was well known. Every morning before the sun rose, the streets were washed and everyone went about their business. There were merchants selling all kinds of goods, from spices to precious metals and jewels. While walking through the market, Suleiman noticed an anthill by the side of the road. He sat down next to it and looked at the busy ants scurrying back and forth. They were so tiny, and yet they worked tirelessly, carrying crumbs and grains many times larger than themselves. One little ant stood out amongst the rest. He was very small and always felt a bit left out. But today, this little ant was taking a break and watching the world go by. Suddenly, he saw something strange. A gigantic shadow loomed over the anthill, and he looked up to see a pair of huge, shiny boots right above him. Startled, the little ant quickly crawled under a leaf. What was this giant? Was it a bird of prey looking for a snack? As he peeked out from under the leaf, the little ant saw a man unlike any he had seen before. He wore a crown and fine garments, and his face radiated kindness and wisdom. He had always wanted to meet the famous king. Maybe if he was brave enough, he could ask Suleiman to help protect the anthill from predators. But then he noticed something terrifying. Behind Solomon were rows and rows of soldiers, all carrying spears and shields. There were so many that the little ant couldn't see where they ended. And they were all marching towards the anthill. The little ant panicked. If those soldiers didn't stop, they would trample the entire anthill and all its inhabitants. But how could he possibly stop them? He was just a small ant. As the little ant pondered what to do, one of the marching soldiers stepped on his leaf, nearly crushing him. The ant quickly crawled out from under the leaf and shouted, "Stop! Please, I beg of you." The soldier looked down at the tiny ant and chuckled. "What are you gonna do, little ant? Bite me?" He tried to step on the ant again, but the quick little ant dodged out of the way. "You may be strong, soldier," the ant cried, "but I am wise. Stand back, and I will tell you why you must not step foot in this anthill." The soldier laughed and pushed his comrades to let them see the little ant standing defiantly in front of him. "Oh, yes, the great Sultan Suleiman has come to hear the wisdom of an ant." He picked up the ant and brought him closer to his ear. "Speak up, little ant, so that your last words are not a squeak." The ant took a deep breath and said, "Great warrior, have you come from faraway lands to plunder the riches of this anthill? If you have, turn back now, for we have no quarrel with you. But if you have come in peace, I will gladly answer any question you may have." The soldier frowned. He hadn't expected the ant to be so bold. Still, he couldn't resist. He threw the ant back onto the ground and asked, "All right, wise ant, what is the secret to your great wisdom?" The ant smiled cunningly. "If you want to know my secret, you must bring me to my fellow ants. They are wiser than I am, and they will teach you." The soldier thought for a moment. Then he had an idea. "Good, let's go." He picked up the ant and carried him to the edge of the anthill. "Now show me where your fellow ants are so that I can ask them a few questions." As soon as the soldier put the ant down, he raced back to the anthill entrance. He crawled inside and shouted, "Quick, everyone! Hide! Hide quickly!" The ants were confused. "What's happening, little one? Why are you calling us to come inside?" But the little ant didn't have time to explain. He knew that if they didn't hurry, it would be too late. "Just trust me, please. We don't have much time." Meanwhile, the soldier was searching for the ants, but they had all hidden away except for one. He saw an ant struggling to carry a crumb much bigger than himself. "Aha, another wise ant. I think I'll start with you." The ant struggled to move the crumb and didn't notice the soldier approaching until he was right upon him. "Please, oh mighty soldier, don't eat me," the ant cried. "I have something far better for you than a mere ant snack." The soldier frowned. "Oh, really? What's that?" The ant looked around to make sure the other ants were hiding. Then he whispered, "If you want to know what it is, you'll have to follow me." The soldier agreed, and the ant led him deep into the tunnels. Soon they reached a large chamber where all the ants were gathered. The littlest ant shouted, "My brothers and sisters, now is the time to show the soldier the secret of our wisdom." All the ants looked at each other in confusion. They didn't understand what the little ant was doing. "But little one, how can we show him our wisdom? We don't know any spells or incantations, and we aren't particularly clever either." "That doesn't matter," the little ant replied. "We may not be wise, but we are a community of peace, and we value life. And that is the first thing you must know about our wisdom." The soldier was deeply moved. He realized that he had been wrong to judge these tiny creatures. He knelt down before the ants and said, "I am sorry I have troubled you. I only wanted to see what kind of wisdom an ant could possess. Now I understand that you are far wiser than I am. Please forgive me." The ants agreed and welcomed the soldier to their home. Suddenly, they heard a familiar voice. Well, what have we here?" A soldier kneeling before a bunch of ants. "Very impressive." The soldier turned and saw none other than Prophet Solomon. "Oh, my lord," the soldier exclaimed, "I was so eager to test the wisdom of an ant that I forgot everything. I am truly ashamed." Solomon smiled kindly and said, "Do not be sad. I understand why you wanted to meet these ants. I myself am curious about their wisdom." The soldier nodded and explained what had happened. Solomon turned to the ants and said, "I am very impressed with your wisdom, my tiny friends. You have shown me that even the smallest of creatures can be wise and important. Tell me, little ant, how did you manage to convince the soldier to come here? The little ant bowed his head and said, "It wasn't my wisdom alone, my lord. It was the wisdom of all my brothers and sisters. Together, we showed the soldier the importance of peace and respect for all living beings." Prophet Suleiman was even more impressed. He knew that the ants had a valuable lesson to teach him. From that day on, Solomon made sure to protect the ants and their anthill. He understood that true wisdom comes in all shapes and sizes, and that even the smallest creature can have something valuable to teach him. And so the ants lived happily in their anthill, knowing that they had a powerful friend in Prophet Solomon. They continued to share their wisdom with all who sought it, teaching them the importance of hard work, cooperation, and respect for nature. And as for the little ant, he became known throughout the land as the bravest and wisest of all the ants. If you liked the story of the ant and Prophet Suleiman, then don't forget to like the video. Also watch our other videos which retell stories from the lives of the prophets. These stories are not only entertaining, but also full of valuable lessons that can help guide us in our daily lives. So subscribe to the channel and join our growing family. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.